Hi, my name is Bill, and today I'm going to be showing you how to replace the bake element in your oven. The reason why you might have to do this is because you're not getting heat when the oven is set to bake, or because the bake element is burned out. For this repair, we'll be using a 5/16 inch nut driver, a Phillips head screwdriver, and a ratchet with a 3/8 inch socket. Warning: before doing any repairs, please disconnect your power source. For this repair, we'll be using a Whirlpool stove. Keep in mind, ours might be a little bit different than what you've got at home, but the same techniques should still apply. So what we're going to do now is turn the stove around. First thing I'm going to do now is remove this panel. And when you're removing that second screw, just make sure you hold on to the panel so it doesn't fall down. And set it off to the side. Now you're going to have to remove the wires from the plug. Just make sure you keep in mind that you've got your two outer ones and your middle one. And when you put them back on, you're going to do the same thing. It's just the two outer ones. Shouldn't matter which side they go on. Don't be putting the middle one on either of the ends and then the two ends like that. It won't work. So to get these nuts off, I'm going to be using a 3/8 inch socket. And I'll just twist till it's loose. And then I should be able to get them off by hand. So I'll just make sure everyone's loose. And I'll finish taking them off by hand. Make sure you set the nuts off to the side somewhere where you won't lose them, as they're pretty small. Now the last thing we have to do before we can remove this power cord is we're going to use our Phillips head screwdriver to loosen up these two screws here. You don't have to take them out all the way, just loosen them a little bit, and then the clamp will be loose enough for you to pull the wires through. So you can take the leads off and pull it down through. Now we're going to be removing the rest of the screws that are all holding this panel right here in place. So I'm going to start up here. Now when we get to these top screws, we don't have to take them out all the way. We can just loosen them all each a bit. Just make sure you hold on to the bottom of the panel as you're doing so. And once they're all loose, it'll slide right out. So now we've got to remove the wires for our bake element. So all we have to do is just grab onto it, pull it straight out. Same thing on this one, grab onto that metal on the end, pull straight out. So now we're going to open up our oven. And I'm going to remove both of these racks just to make everything a little bit easier here. So this right here is our bake element. In order to get it out, we need to remove those two screws on the back right there. Now that we've got those two screws out, we can remove the bake element. All you have to do is pull it straight out, like so. Now you can grab your new OEM replacement bake element. If you don't have one already, you can find one on our online store. In our case, there's nothing wrong with this element, so we're going to be putting it back in and just showing you how to reinstall it. So now we're going to take this, and you're going to want to make sure that these ports are facing downwards. And slide it right into the old holes. and let it sit down on the oven. Alright, now we're just going to line up the bracket with the screw holes and screw it in. Okay. So that's now screwed in nice and tight there. So now that's screwed in nice and tight, so we can put the racks back in. So we'll start with our bottom rack and the top rack. Now we can close the door up and go to the back of the oven. So now we're going to put the wires back on, and all we have to do is line them up and push straight in. And same thing with the other one, just push straight in. And now we're ready to put the back panel back on. So now I'm just going to make sure I slide this back up in place and make sure this tab under here goes underneath. Then you can push it up and tighten those screws. And now we'll put the rest of our screws back in. Now we'll feed our power cord back through. So just push that up through the space. Put each of the leads on their respective screws. And now we'll tighten the clamp. Okay. You can grab your nuts and screw them back on to those screws there. And we'll do each one hand tight as far as we can go. And once you've got those nuts as tight as you can, grab your ratchet and finish them up. And now we'll put the cover plate back on. There we go. And now we can turn it back around and plug it back in. Finally, don't forget to plug in your appliance. If you need to replace any parts for your appliances, you can find an OEM replacement part on our website, PCApplianceRepair.com. Thanks for watching. And please don't forget to like, comment, and share our video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us make more videos just like these for you to watch for free.